Okay, in this question, we are given that a company that manufactures smartwatches produces and sells X watches per week. The weekly price demand function is given by, and they give it to us here. And so immediately, from this you can get the weekly revenue function. The weekly revenue is just the production level, or how many they produce per week, times the price of each item. So the number of items times the price per item, or the production quantity times the price per item. Okay, that will give you the revenue. And so in this case it will be x times p of x. They gave us 300 here, yeah, minus 0.12x, and so you get 300x minus 0.12x squared. So from the beginning I computed the revenue, because definitely it will be involved in this question. And indeed, if you look at ABC, you'll see that we need to talk about finding the number of watches that the company needs to sell to maximize the revenue, and then what is the maximum revenue that the company can make, and what price should the company charge for smartwatch to maximize revenue. So notice that all of the three questions are about maximizing the revenue and things related to that. Okay, the next three, if you quickly look, are about the profit. So the profit, remember this, maybe I compute it for you now, here they talk about maximizing the profit. So here, let's say big P of X, profit is big P, equals the revenue minus the cost. And so the revenue, we just found it, 300x minus 0.12x squared. All of this minus the cost, they give it to you immediately below. That's, of course, everything is weekly. So 30,000 plus 78x is the weekly cost. So if you compute this, notice 300x minus 78x, because there is a minus here. 300 minus 78 is 222x, minus this one is 0.2x squared, 0.12x squared. This doesn't have anything to combine it with, and then you have minus 30,000. Perfect. So now you have all the functions that you need in order to solve this entire question. Pay attention now, because it's very simple. It just needs your attention. So let's see the first three. We're talking about maximizing the revenue. So remember, the revenue R of X equals, we computed it at the beginning from the price demand function by multiplying it by X. And so 300x minus 0.12x squared. And so its derivative, now we want to maximize it. The derivative is 300 minus, now 2 times 0.12, it's 0.24x. Set it equal to 0 to get the critical numbers. You'll get that x is 300 over 0.24. And this is, if you use your calculator, you'll get 1,250. So this is the quantity that the company needs to produce in order to, and I claim now, in order to maximize the revenue. But how did I know maximize, not minimize, or maybe none? How did I know that it's a maximum? There is an easy way. If you compute the second derivative, look at what you get. Here, 300, the derivative is 0 with respect to x, and this one is negative 0.24, the derivative. And that is always negative. It doesn't have an x. So this is like just a negative number. So this second derivative is always negative. This means it's always negative. And so the function itself, R of x, the revenue, is always concave down. Remember, the second derivative, when it's negative, it tells you about concavity. So this means that r of x, the revenue function, looks like this. So it's a parabola. In fact, you knew that it's a parabola from the beginning. Here, look, x squared, and has a negative leading coefficient, so it opens like this. We all knew it from the beginning, actually, without having to do this, but you see, analytically you can also prove it. In any case, this means that the point that we got at which the derivative is 0, that is the point 1250, is indeed a maximum, not a minimum. For a minimum, when you have a minimum at a point, the second derivative is positive because it's concave up. So f double prime is positive at local minimums. Local minimums. And here you can say f double prime is negative at local maximums. Okay, I think you got it. So let's just now go back and say that yes, now we solved it. The answer to how many smartwatches does the company have to sell to maximize its revenue is 1,250 smartwatches. If they ask, of course, it's nice to write the units here. So you say smart watches. X is the quantity of smartwatches. So that's it. And now B and C come immediately from this. Look at how it is. Please learn how to do B and C immediately. For B, they tell you what is the maximum revenue the company will get from the sale of the smartwatches. So maximum what revenue? You might say, but what did we just compute? What is this X? This is the quantity at which you get the maximum revenue. So to get the maximum revenue, we know that will be R at the point 1250. And so we need to just put 1250 inside the formula for R. So this will be 300 into 1250 minus 0.12, 1250 squared. And let's, not this one, where is the calculator? Yeah, here. The calculator, let's do it now like this. Okay, so it was 300 times 1250 minus 0.12 times 1250 squared equals, so it is 187,500 dirhams. That's the total revenue over the week. And it's the total, the total weekly revenue can be maximum if the quantity of smartwatches produced and sold is 1,250. And this maximum revenue itself is 187,500 dirhams. Great. And so part C now, read part C. Let's do it in this color. Part C, we will do it here, C. That the one above it was B, the answer to B. Let's put each answer with highlighting. So that's the A, here the highlighting of A, this is of B, and then C. After we solve C, we'll highlight it, and then I'll show you something also very nice. Now, what price, now they're asking, look, what price should the company charge for a smartwatch? So what would be the price per watch? Remember, this here is the price demand function, and it gives you the price per watch. But look, they're asking what price should the company charge for a smartwatch to what? To maximize revenue. Again, they're asking you, they want to maximize revenue. We know that this happens at x equal 1,250. This is what we showed in part A. So notice that part A gave you the X at which you get the maximum, and then in parts B and C you just substitute it in the revenue to get the maximum revenue, and now in the price demand function to get the price per smartwatch that will that the company should charge to maximize the revenue. So now just plug in X equal 1250 inside the P of X, which is the price demand function, 300 minus 0.12x. And so what I mean by this is that compute P at 1250. But make sure that you don't confuse this P. They're asking you price, you see, price, not profit. Here they ask about profit, and that's the big P of X. Look careful at this. This is the big P, that's the profit function. And the small p is the price demand function. All right. And so P at 1250 will be 300 minus 0.12 times 1250. And so this, we have the calculator here already. So 300 minus 0.12 times 1250. So it's 150 dirhams per watch or smartwatch. So the company should charge 150 dirhams per smartwatch so that the total revenue per week is maximum. The total weekly revenue is maximum, and in this case it's this number here. Notice that yes, if I have 150, I'm selling at 150 dirhams per watch, and I have 1250 watches. Look what they give me, 187,500. Yes, which agrees with what I have here. So all of it now agrees. And now pay attention at what I'm going to do. This is something that is very nice to learn. So first we'll open Dismos, and I want to graph these functions. So how about we, of course, D, E, and F will be done in a similar way, and I'll do it by graphing after I show you the graph of ABC, like how to get it easily. So let's see. First, let's graph the price function. So it's what? 300 minus 0.12x. That's the red one. Now the cost is 30,000 plus 78x. Notice the cost, we still didn't use it until now because we'll use it in DEF with the profit. Now the revenue is x times this, which is 300x minus 0.12 x squared. Even I'll put it right under the price demand function so that you see that it's just x times that. That's the revenue, and the profit. The profit function is here. We computed it at the beginning. 222x minus 0.12 x squared minus 30,000. Okay, and now we have all of them, and we saw also that, yeah, well, let's verify what we saw, that the maximum revenue, so notice the revenue here is in green, and at the same time when I graphed it now it came in green, just, you know, coincidence. So let me just look at the entire picture and see what's going on. Okay, so all these graphs, you see you need to go to 30,000 to see some of them, yeah, and to go up all the way. So now good, I was able to capture everything. Notice the red, this one is what? The price demand function. That's the red. Notice that you cannot see it because it's a line, but its slope is so small. You see the slope is minus 0.12, close to zero, that it looks horizontal from far. And because we're zooming in to see the graphs, to us the red looks like it's a horizontal line, but it's not. Just know that it's a line with negative slope. In any case, the revenue is the green, and look, the maximum of the green graph, let's all look at it here. And what is it? Yes, at 1,250 X, you get the maximum revenue 187,500. Perfect. So now let me see when X equals 1,250. So X is just 1,250. Look at this. When X is 1,250, we have the maximum revenue, which is 187,500. And in this case, the cost will be 127,500. See, the revenue was 187,500, and the profit is 60,000. Notice that if you add the profit 60,000 plus the cost 127,500, if you add them together, you get the total revenue 187,000. And they ask you also, when X is 1,250, what is the price demand? What is the price per smartwatch? Here, look, when I clicked it, it's 150. Because the red, this is the price demand function. Perfect. So look again at the points. At X equal 1,250, I have the maximum revenue, and when I have the maximum revenue, the price of each smartwatch is 150, as you can see. Total revenue 187,500. And if they ask about cost and profit, you can also get what are they when the revenue is maximum. So when I have maximum revenue, I can answer it like this. The maximum revenue occurs when the production is 1,250 smartwatches. And so when the number of watches produced, that's what I mean. And in this case, the maximum revenue is, and then you start looking at the graph reading, the maximum revenue is the green graph, and it's 187,500. Then, and you say, and in this case, the cost is going to be, and you look at the blue, 127,500, and of course, the profit is the difference of the two, 187,500 minus 127,500, you get 60,000. And last thing is, what would the price be that the company should charge per watch in order to get the maximum revenue? You go and you say it's on the red line here. At 1,250, I get 150 that the price should be. See, we solved all of them. Just all of these points lie on one line. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the second half of the question. So let's see the second half. Right now, this is solved completely. So I'm going to just erase. Well, actually, without erasing, let's read the question and solve it by the graph. So look at questions. Let's use this color here, D to F. Notice it's the same as questions A to C, but here it's profit instead of revenue. So you need to just get the profit, revenue minus cost, and then you have this function. Find the point at which it's maximum. So exactly like what we did with R, find the derivative and set it equal to 0, then check at what x you'll get this. And so if you do all of it, I'm going to just show you on the graph. So here, which one now, the maximum profit, look, now forget the maximum revenue. Revenue is the green, but the profit graph is this one, the purple. So the maximum occurs at this point when X is 925, and in this case the maximum profit is 72,675. So let me tell you from here that you need to solve it by hand, but because it's the same as this, I will let you solve it, but I'll tell you what the answer will be. So here for D, this X is going to be 925. Let me just check, because it's very easy to forget. Here, 925, yes, the maximum when X is 925. So when we produce, or the company produces 925 smartwatches, this production level is the level at which they will get the maximum profit, which will be 72,675. 72,675. This will be the profit at 925. So this will be, of course, in dirhams. So a weekly profit of 72,675 when the production quantity is 925 what? Smartwatches. So they're just telling you that this company, if they produce 925 smartwatches, this will maximize their profit, and the maximum profit will be this. Maximum weekly profit is 72,675. Someone might ask, but what was the weekly profit when we had 1,250, when X was 1,250? Because now we are saying that when X is 925, that is when big P of X, the what is it called? The profit is maximum at this number. But what about this one, the 1,250? This X is the one at which, so exactly like what we said here, but RX, revenue, is maximum at the point 1,250. So we saw that the profit will be 72. Maximum profit that you can ever get, that this company can ever get, is 72,675. Notice, I want to show you here that before, when we had the maximum revenue, let me also draw again X equal 1,250. Notice here that the one you need to look at really is the purple. So 60,000. See, the profit at this X, when X is 1,250, the profit is 60,000. But when X is 925, the profit is more. You see, the profit is 925. So X equal 925. The profit will be 72,675. Okay, let's take this out and just keep the ones that you really need. So this one also, I changed its color. Let's make it this color. And now, which one do we need? The profit. Yes, we need it. Let me take the other two out. Just keep the price and the profit. Yeah, the cost, we don't need it for this. I mean, for this question. And look here, the profit function, the weekly profit function is maximum when the production is 925 smartwatches, and in this case the profit will be, the maximum profit will be 72,675. Okay, and in this case, nice to know, in this case the price that the company should charge per watch is 189. You see, that will be the red curve. When X is 925, it's the price is 189. So here you need to also say, just like if you remember, the company needed to sell each watch at a price of 150 to maximize revenue. But now what we're saying is that P of 925, you will get 189 dirhams per smartwatch. But what would this do? This will be the price per watch that will maximize the profit. This will maximize the profit that you get, and it will be 72,000. Remember, 72,000 something. Yeah, 72,675. Very nice. And is there anything else that you need to know here? That's it, I guess. We solved everything. And so right now what I'll do is just quickly go back, and in just a nanosecond I just want to tell you that first here they're talking about maximizing revenue. So what they're asking is that you have the revenue, get from it R prime, set it equal to 0, and then get the critical numbers and check the maximum, find the maximum. Okay, so in this case, when we did all of this, we got the maximum at 1,250. This what? Smartwatch. They need to produce 1,250 smartwatches, so that what? The revenue now at 1,250 is maximum. And if you remember, it was, if I'm not mistaken, 187,500 dirhams. That's the maximum revenue. And also, we put this X inside the price demand function. And when we put it there, we got that it must be 150 dirhams per watch to achieve the goal of getting the maximum revenue. So, perfect. And the other three, here, D, E, F, exactly the same question, but about the profit function. Remember, the profit is R minus C. And so what we do is, again, get the derivative, set it equal to 0, get the critical numbers, and from them get the maximum. And in our case, for the profit, remember, the maximum occurred at 925, when X is 925 smartwatches. So when the company produces 925 smartwatches, we will get the maximum profit at 925. This will be maximum profit. And if you remember, it was 72,000 something. So I can quickly get it just from here. 72,675. 675 dirhams. That's the maximum profit possible. And when at this production level, what should they charge per watch? They should charge P of 925, small p. This one is small p, this one is the big P. See, this one here is the profit. The profit function is the capital or big P. And this here is the price demand. Price demand function is the small p. So P of 925 is, and so you just put it in here. So implies that P of 925, we got it from the graph, but if you want to get it from the calculator, it's just 300 minus 0.12 times 925. And let me do it by the calculator. 300, here, just 1 second, 300 minus 0.12 times 925 equals, yes, 189. The price is 189 dirhams per watch. So charge more than when you want to maximize the revenue. When we wanted to maximize the revenue, the price per watch was 150 dirhams that we should choose. But if we want to maximize the profit, then we need to charge 189 dirhams per watch. So the other one 150. So this is 39 dirhams more per watch to maximize the profit. See, this is one of the nicest questions possible. Remember that you can get all of the graphs and then ask this question. You say that if I want, so here I'll just put the other one, 1250, and let's hide it for now. And just remind you that when the revenue is the green, so it's maximum when the x coordinate 1250. The profit is purple, and it's maximum when x is 925. And in both cases, they ask you substitute this in the red price demand function and tell us what should the price be so that the company achieves this maximum. And so we put these, and let me just make this black, yeah, and make these lines like this. And well, actually you don't need to make them just straight as they are. Okay, perfect. And now look, when you have the maximum revenue and you check here, you check here, you will get, you need to pay 150. So see here and here. This graph needs to be stable. Yeah, so 1250 production of smartwatches. If you want to get the maximum revenue, charge 150 dirhams per watch. Okay, and for the other one, to get maximum profit, it happens when the production level is 925 watches, and in this case the price that the company should charge is 189 in order to achieve the maximum profit. And I will stop here.